Well, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say I think I found one of my new favorite Loomians. Okay then, hopping into the first battle. Not sure why they have a Geklo, but I'm not gonna judge. Okay, Geklo is pretty cool. I'm gonna assume that these two Loomians probably aren't coming to the battle, to be honest. Okay then, let's go with the Gobidemic lead and pray they don't lead up with that Hognosh because, yeah, not really trying to have my entry hazards shut down because I'm using like a pretty hyper-offensive team right now, which honestly makes up for the last video since that Soul Burst Hognosh last battle was pretty stally. I gotta say, that was like a 45-minute video, or just battle even. It was not worth it. I should have just forfeited like after 50 minutes and just found another battle. But it was so tough for that video because nobody wanted to bring entry hazards, which was kind of like the entire point of Soulburst Hognosh, like you deny entry hazards, but I at least wanted someone to click a Barbs or a Poison Barbs against my Soulburst Hognosh, so I just took what I could get. Anyway, here, not exactly the biggest fan of this specific matchup, but I'll go for a Pepper Burst. I could probably take a Deep Freeze. And if this isn't Health Amulet, I might be able to two-shot this. Oh, do I risk it? It's going to be a damage roll, I'm pretty sure. We're risking it. Also, Obelisk is a little bit annoying since it can hit my Obelost. Obelisk? Super effective. Also, pretty cool hit. I don't even need to try and go for a roll. Okay, next up is Banoke. I'm definitely gonna assume that this thing is gonna outspeed me. It looks like I might not be able to get entry hazards up, but obviously I want to go into Obelost here. Is this gonna be Berserker or the one that can bypass the spirit immunity? Either way, I think Obelost can just tank this pretty well, so I'm gonna go into Gobidemic. I'm just gonna sacrifice it just to get Obelisk in for Obelost. I keep saying Obelisk for some reason. I'm thinking of like Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know why. But yeah, I'm gonna get my Obelost into the battle for free. And because I sacrificed Gobidemic, I will get a Wail increase. Not gonna be a big increase, but I'll still take it. And then here, I think we actually go for a Peace of Mind. I don't think the Banoke is gonna stay in, so going for a Trick Shot probably isn't worth it. So I'm gonna go for Peace of Mind just to see what they're gonna do. And they do withdraw into your snack. I mean, yeah, this is probably their best thing on their team that can tank a hit. Other than their own Nemesis. Although because I have Rock Slide, I actually get to hit it super effective. Here, Len, I think we just go for Phantom Blast. There's a chance we could miss this, but I'm just gonna pray we don't. Shadow Sprint from a Yursnack, that actually did a decent amount. And unfortunately, I miss! No! Okay, well, that is the downside of running Phantom Blast. I'm running Trick Shot, also for priority, and Phantom Blast for big boy damage. And then Rock Slide is mostly for coverage, just to specifically hit things like Nimue and Nemesis. But yeah, you could also switch out Phantom Blast for Spectral Burst if you want something more reliable, but I wanted to be a little bit greedy and go for big boy damage. Especially with Wail, might as well stack damage on top of damage, right? Okay, I guess I'll go for another Peace of Mind. They didn't go for a Shadow Sprint this turn, so I'm assuming Baffle here. Yeah. Oh, actually, because they went for Shadow Sprint, I wonder if their Yursnack outspeeds my Obelost? I highly doubt it, but if they do outspeed my Obelost, pretty sure Trick Shot will fail. And there's the Nemesis, but because I'm at +2 range defense, I can probably tank whatever move they throw at me fairly well. So, let's see. Jetstream, yeah, we tank that fairly well. And Rock Slide gets me the one-shot. Oh, yeah. Okay, Banoke is back in. I can probably assume this is going to go for a Frost Punch. I'm just going to go for a Trick Shot. I'm not going to gamble with this. Oh, Banana Split? Oh, cool. That's actually pretty annoying because I actually can't really get rid of that. I was kind of relying on Gobidemic to provoke things. That's actually really annoying, but here's the thing. If I don't need to switch out of Oblosts, I don't need to worry about the Banana Split. I'll take it. Okay, I get to go for the rest here. Unfortunately, Rock Slide is pretty low base power, so even low, yeah, I can hit the Hognosh super effective. it's not going to be like as much damage as like a landslide would do, especially if this is like super range bulky, which generally most Hoganoshes are leaning towards that. Here, I would probably assume a bulk up or a meltdown to remove my held item, maybe. Yeah, meltdown to remove my item. There's actually a lot of damage. Yikes. That is big boy damage. Although I did go for a rest as well. I think I can take another hit from this fairly well, though. I might actually just outspeed. No, they outspeed me. Fiery Fondant does a lot of damage. But it is fine. This rock slide should do good damage back. Oh! That's so good. Okay, now here's the thing. If I click Trick Shot, to also pick them off, they could go for Rejuvenate here, which would be pretty annoying. Or I could just Rock Slide predicting that. I think I have to go for Trick Shot. Oh, okay, nice. They just went for another Fiery Fondant, I'm guessing. But yeah, I mean, even if they do go for the Rejuvenate, my Trick Shot will take it back down to like roughly that same health, so I think it would have been fine. Here, I'm just gonna go for a Trick Shot again. Oh, their U-Snack does outspeed my Obelost, which means, yeah, if I did live that, then my Trick Shot should have failed. I guess I'll go Nemesis, we'll ignore the Banana Peel, we get to break the U-Snack tank ability. This should be fine. We could also Batter and get it stuck into a move like, I don't know, Slap Down. That's really good damage, even with Tank Load Dam. Slap Down. Yet it will remove my item, but I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Jetstream might still just give me the KO, and it does. Yeah, Obelost Wail, pretty good. And that was only with a 10% damage increase, so gotta say, it's pretty freaking dangerous. Okay then, for the next battle, now we're actually using the secret ability Siege, which means if they go for a pivot move and I'm on the field, it just fails, which is great because they have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 potential pivot options? Although I will say, Obelost doesn't really make sense on this type of team, since this is like a super defensive version on a hyper offensive team, but I think it'll work. Maybe. Okay then, let's go for the Gobidemic lead and try and get some entry heads down. That is a Wendelin. A little bit scary. This is actually probably one of the better matchups though for Obelost, even though it can hit me super effective. The main issue is a lot of like the moves that you make fail is Flash and Flee and Zip Zap, which are range attacks, so that means they're generally run on Loomians that are range attackers, so they can just click another move and deal a lot of damage. Whereas something like Fade Away, yes, it's cool that I completely block it, but it's generally like on Obelost pretty only useful for things like Lashent, I guess, so it is a little bit of a weird matchup. I think more things are going to get this ability, but not that many, because it is a pretty good ability. Either way, let's go for a layer of Babs, and you know immediately now that this Wendelin is Boots, which is perfect because what is Wendelin going to click 99% of the time when it enters the field? Fade Away again. So if I can just lock it into Fade Away and go into my Obelost, it can't do anything. This U-Snack is most likely going to go for a Shadow Sprint. I could actually go into Obelost here because we don't care about Brawler. Yeah, Shadow Sprint will deal a little bit of damage to me, but it should be fine. Slapdown is a little bit annoying because I'm actually running Mysterious Dust on this, so I could wake up from my slumber a little bit better. But yeah, I guess we could actually throw off a Tamp here. I could actually go for a Spectral Burst low. Ooh. No, let's go for Tamp. There's no need to get greedy right now. Might as well go for one of my cheaper moves so I can just scout to see what their reaction is. Although I will say, it's a little bit confusing why I went for Slapdown. I could have gone for another layer of Babs. Also, they now know exactly what I am, so that means, unfortunately, they're most likely not going to click Fade Away as much on Wendelin. But hey, I got a free Tamp, I ain't complaining. So that means they have to go for the hard switch out now. We could go for another Tamp, obviously, which actually is probably the best thing I could do, because then whatever they hard switch into right now, I'm going to tank whatever move they have a lot better. If I go for Spectral Burst, for example, and they go Chienta, really bad matchup. So yeah, I think I might as well actually do that. Lego Imperior. Yeah, that's pretty annoying, not gonna lie. If this is resentful, I hate you, although it has volcanic ashes, so batter. I'm really hoping that this isn't the Imperial that I used to run, because that one really sucked. Imperial boots, or I guess right now a nuller, specialty items, goggles, probably better. Volcanic Ash is cool, but you can't hard switch your Imperial into the battle, otherwise it gets burnt, which is a little bit annoying. I'm just gonna go for more Tamps, because I can probably set up against the Imperial. Like, yeah, if I get burnt, it's whatever, but I have got Slumber, so I can get rid of the burn. It's just that once I wake up, I'm gonna get burnt again. Here... do I just go for another Tamp? I don't really see an issue with this. I'm just tamping, baby. I don't care. I'm just waiting for the Imperial to get a little bit lower, so I don't KO myself, if it is resentful. There's their Wendelin. They're gonna hit me really, really hard. Even low, I'm at, what, +4 now? Could be worse. This could be a gloves one, which I don't think it is, but I think we'll be fine. Trickshot here would be amazing, but I don't have it. We'll go for Spectral Burst. They go for Fitted bro. I guess he doesn't exactly realize how this ability works. Because I guess most people, when they see Obelost, they just assume Wail. That is like the most common go-to set, which makes a lot of sense. It is just the best ability on Obelost, but this one has its gimmicks. Like this, for example. If I Trickshot low, I could have just got rid of that without risking any damage. Akuda is on the field. This is most likely their Soul Burst. Don't care about electric moves, but I am weak to water. However, I am super range bulky, and I have 4 range defense increases. I can probably tank it pretty well. So I think we actually go for the body crash here. Or do I go for a slumber? I think I go for a slumber, because I can't go for body crash and then a slumber, so I might as well do it the other way around and just see what they do. I mean, a tsunami is gonna chunk us for a good amount of health. I don't think it'll be enough to deal with a +4 Oblosts. Unless they have Energize. Oh no, I might have made a mistake. I probably should have just hit it twice, to be honest, but yeah. Now, the actual biggest issue is, because I don't have the Mysterious Dust anymore, I have to wait until I get rid of all of these sleep turns. That is the only issue of them get rid of my item. Energize again. I mean, yeah, this is really scary. This is really, really scary. I think I can take whatever they boost to low. I think I can probably take this fairly well. Yeah, do I wake up low? No, so that did 120. I can take another one. Okay, we can take just barely another one. I might as well go for a body crash. It probably would have been better low if I just clicked body crash twice instead of slumbering, to be honest, thinking about it. I didn't think they would energize immediately, but because they went for a rest, and I got a critical hit! Not sure if the critical hit was necessary. Not actually sure if the rest was necessary. I still might have one-shotted it because I'm at +4 melee defense. Obelost has a ridiculous melee defense stat, but I'm taking it. Well, to say I'm using a hyper-offensive team, Obelost kind of fits, I guess, in this specific matchup. I'm just clicking moves and doing big damage. Eurosnack here, don't care. We're clicking Spectral Burst twice, and hopefully it's going to be enough. Okay, Shadow Sprint, yes. The only move that this really has to hit me, but it does no damage. Especially because I'm at +4. So, I mean, yeah. Even though my Obelost is running no range attack investment, although then smart, because I didn't want to lower my speed, but that's really up to you. But it's just naturally so high, it's gonna hit pretty darn hard, especially if we can either get boost with Tamp or Peace of Mind, or especially if we can just hit them super effective. Because Imperial switched in, it's obviously a little bit scarier, but I'm not boosting my range attack stat, so we're not gonna do that much damage, so I'm fine. Here, I'm just gonna actually slumber off all of this damage, and oh, that's actually really unfortunate. I really wanted to get all my energy back without clicking rests. Okay, I guess I'll go for a wait then. Voucher, that's fine. I mean, yeah, it's gonna burn me, but I don't think it matters. I think it actually might impact body crash though, now that I think about it. Not entirely too sure. It probably does, because the move is technically melee, and burn will cut in half your melee attacks, not your stat, I'm pretty sure. I always thought it was like the stat for the longest time for some reason. I don't know why. Here low, I'm just gonna Spectral Burst. I think Spectral Burst and Burn chip damage might be enough for it to go down. It might have actually just been worth to go for Body Crash here. But it is enough. Okay, no, I think that was actually the smarter play. Is that alive? I was going to say. I physically couldn't see any pixels of that health bar. Okay, they've got another Loomian, and because my provoke ended, I might as well go for another Slumber. Do I want to go to +6 melee and range defense to prepare for the last Loomian? Or is it really not necessary? Because I haven't really lost any Loomian. I've only lost half health on Gobademic, 75% health on Gobademic, and that is it. It's probably not necessary. I'll just do damage. And I mean, if Obelost does go down, I'm just gonna go Eruptodon, click my Sol move, and that will eventually get me big chip. There's nothing they can really do anymore, so yeah. I gotta say hello. Obelost kinda cooks. This honestly, like, it was one of my favorite Loomians before recording this video. Design-wise, I made the Dex entry for it, basically, and then Lander just, like, cleaned up for me a little bit. Gotta say, it was one of my favorite Loomians before doing this video, but now, it's definitely, like, top 5. I think it has to be. It is definitely up there for me right now with Zulong and Meditoad and Prope. So, that's kind of, like, the only issue. I have a lot of, like, really good Loomians that I love. It's kind of hard to, like, number them. So I usually don't, but clear number 1 is, like, Zulong, and then, like, maybe tied for second is probably Len Meditoad. Prope is just funny, and then Obelost might be tied at number 2. Luminam is also good, though, and I would probably consider that a top 2. So that's the thing. I can't decide. I'm very indecisive about, like, favorite things. It's usually like, okay, my number 1 for Pokemon, Metagross. Number 1 for Loomian, Zulong. Anything below that, it kind of either changes on the day. It's really hard to, like, decide. Also, because it's a Cleone, I actually am going to go to +6 just so I can hit it a lot harder with body crashes. I think actually the best thing for me to do is to get to +6, click Slumber, and then when I wake up, I can go for a body crash without a burn. That'll be, like, the best way for me to do damage. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind, I freaking died. Well, that was unlucky. It was bound to happen eventually. Yes, I got a little bit greedy, I guess. But it's fine. I'm gonna go into Eruptodon. I'm clicking Hellstorm, even though I have Dark Surge. I just want the chip damage. Then I'll go into Gobademic after Eruptodon phase and click Provoke so they can't heal, and then just whittle them down eventually. Okay, there's Hellstorm. It does a decent amount actually before the battle effects or the secondary effect kicks in. Oh, Stratagem. I was actually expecting them to go for a Rejuvenate there. I will take it. Okay, this Dark Surge should just win me the game, Len. Nice. Okay. We'll take it. Yeah, Obelost definitely carried me that battle. It really hard carried me. And hopping into the last battle, okay, so for this Obelost, we're actually running a Bitter Touch one. Very similar to the Siege one, although instead of being range bulky, we're melee bulky, with the intention of still spamming Battering Ram just right off the bat. But with the Bitter Touch and the melee defense that we have, we're hoping that we can switch in on a lot of Loomians and just disable them from clicking their moves, which is especially good right now, especially with, like, Bounty running around with the Berserker ability or the Gloves item, or just Gloves in general right now, because if they lock themselves into a move with Gloves or Berserker like Bounty, and then Bitter Touch activates, they have to flail or hard switch out. Although, I should definitely let you know immediately, This is by far the least impactful ability. If you're going to use Obelost, I would recommend using the Wail ability. It is just by far the best, but the other abilities, even though they're not as good, they still have like a small niche, and like there is a reason to run them. Here, I kind of want to go for Provoke, so this thing doesn't start setting up Drudges. That would be really, really annoying, but I'm going to go for a layer of Babs first. Maybe Poison Babs actually would be better for this specific Obelost set. So that way if I'm tamping and slumbering, I'm getting chip damage. That's a much better Obsidian. I'm not gonna complain. I ain't gonna say anything. Interesting sets, but I don't know if I would really recommend a much better Obsidian. Although, is there like any specific matchups that would actually really help? I am a -2 right now. I don't think this Obsidian is going to outspeed me still, and even if it does, probably clicking Earthquake twice would have just been better. But it does save on energy. I don't know why I'm like trying to logically think of an excuse on why running Mud Spatter is a good idea. It isn't, and yeah, I still outspeed it. Oh no. Well, hey, I got my entry houses up. That's all that we care about. Now here, we have a few options to choose. I can go into Land Torch and start nuking things. I have 3 specialty item users. We don't talk about it, okay? But I think we just go into Obelost. They should have Primal Slash, right? Okay, let's see if Bitter Touch is gonna activate. Okay, unfortunately it didn't on that turn. I do have to be a little bit careful. That did do like a pretty good chunk to me, but if it critical hits me, it's gonna go through my Tamp, so I have to be a little bit careful still. Primal Slash again, like that. That is not good. That is really not good. And they do outspeed me as well, so hey, don't critical hit me again, otherwise I will die. Ooh. Unfortunately, Bitter Touch hasn't activated yet. Not gonna lie, though, I did kind of forget what the percentage of it activating is. But hey, I woke up immediately. That is the power of Mysterious Dust. So like I said, this set is very similar to the Siege one, just melee defense invested. They should be out of energy. Nope, they have enough for one more. But now they're out of energy, so I can go for another Tamp. Yeah, let's go for another Tamp and then go for a Slumber. They're letting me set up. I mean, hey, I ain't complaining, okay? I ain't complaining. Okay, now I'm gonna start going for a Slumber again, because we really don't want to be in range of a critical hit from Primal Slash. Since it has a critical hit increased chance, I'm not trying to risk it, especially since we've got like this far, okay? And no. I'll go for Body Crash, I guess. We could go to +6, but it's probably not really worth it. But can I get Bitter Touch to activate? The entire point of me bringing Bitter Touch was for it to like potentially prevent them from using super effective moves, or in the off chance that they use a specialty item, I can block that as well. But so far, it ain't done anything. I am gonna go for Body Crash this turn. There's another Primal, no damage to me really. And surprisingly, it didn't one-shot Obsidian, but that does make sense. Obsidian is a beast. Although, this mostly likely, thinking about it, isn't super heavily invested in melee defense, so it probably should have tanked that even better. I'm gonna go to +6, I think, Len. I mean, especially now with them being out of energy. I can go for another Tamp very easily. They have to go for a rest, and then we're gonna go for a Slumber. So maybe I didn't actually need the Poison Barb. I could have gone for 3 layer normal barbs, because the Poison Barbs were just here just so I could safely go for Tamp and Slumber while still getting a little bit of chip damage from the poison, but isn't really necessary now since I'm already set up. I'm gonna go for a Slumber Low again. I still want my ability to pop off, but oh, there we are. But I also want to make sure that I'm not in range of any critical hits. Like, it's already happened a couple of times. Okay, I woke up immediately. We'll take it. That is actually probably the best outcome. I'm going to go for a rest here, just so I can get all of my energy back, because I can't go for Primal Slash this turn. I don't think I can go for it next turn either. My speed being lowered does not matter. So yeah, I think I'll take it. They went for a Beast Slumber, which is fine. That's not going to take them back up to full health, because I'm at +6, and they're only at half, and they're at +1. Or not even half. Yeah, I still just knock it out. I'm taking that. Okay, I got a critical hit. That was not necessary. That was so... I mean, hey, they did critical hit me a couple of times, so I will take it, but that was so pointless. I would have rather have that later on against something else. Heerlen... Yeah, I have got Spectral Burst, but let's be honest, I'm a +6. My melee defense is just so more better. Although I will say, I don't actually know what my melee defense is right now. I actually am a little bit curious. Let's go find out. Okay, if I've got very robust with 200 melee defense and +6, I have 888 melee defense. Yeah, I think it's safe to say Body Crash is probably gonna do more damage, right? Bulk up. Oh, I am so sorry, man. This is not gonna help you unless you're ignorant. Which you aren't. Okay, thinking about it, ignorant would have potentially caused some problems. But I have got Spectral Burst, so maybe not that big of a deal. Heerlen Ferroglyph, yes, it does resist Body Crash, but if this is ranged Ferroglyph, which I could not tell you if it is or not, because I'm at +6, this will still nuke, which yeah, that is ranged. And if it was melee, we got Spectral Burst, baby. I really gotta give Ferroglyph something else, because even though it has so much already, the pain to get one, so then TP train it to give it good UPs, still is just a little bit underwhelming, I feel like. Outburst, that should actually do a bit of damage. Oh, but we better touch it, nice. Okay, that actually could have been scary. If the critical hit me, I think it just knocks me out, to be honest, even though I'm maxed out in melee defense. Or, it would have been really close. So, I'm not complaining, I'll take it. And then for the Eruptodon, I'm pretty sure this is their last Loomian. So, let's see. Does a Soul Burst Hellstorm one-shot me at this range, even with a critical hit? Actually, no. If it critical hits, it definitely will. I'm not investing into my range defense at all. So for this specific set, you want to set up against melee attackers, potentially disable their move, which is really, really cool. And then avoid every range attacker until you're fully maxed out at +6, because they're going to do a lot of damage. Also, that Magma Block, really, bro. I might actually get two-shotted. If I go for Hellstorm on Fire Breath, I think I go down. Oh no. I think they actually got around my Obelost. I wanted an Obelost sweep. No. Oh, it's Lava Slash. Okay, the burn. If they went for Hellstorm and then Lava Slash, I think I would have gone down. I'm gonna go for Slumber here. There's Magma Block. Yeah, I'm not gonna fall for it twice, man. I'm not gonna fall for it twice. I do think, though, if they went for a Magma Storm there, their Soul move, or Hellstorm even, not Magma Storm, Hellstorm, I think I probably would have been in more danger. Okay, there's the Hellstorm. So, I mean, hey, that secondary effect is going to start doing some pretty big damage. I am still asleep, damn it, but I'm at full health. And this is actually where I was talking about the poison coming in clutch, because this Eruptodon, I'm pretty sure, has just took damage from the barbs and poison. I haven't even attacked it yet, so yeah. It would have been a little bit more useful while I was setting up, but hey, it still did its job. Especially because I freaking can't hit the Eruptodon, man. I can't hit it. But hey, either way, it's either this turn or next turn. Doesn't matter what happens, it should go down. Mudslide. They probably should have done that a lot earlier. Yeah, they probably should have done that a lot earlier. But I'm taking it. That was a little bit mean, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely bullied that guy a little bit. But, I'm using Bitter Touch, so it's fine, right? I get a pass. Okay then, now let's go over the sets. The first one up is going to be the bulky offensive Wail set, which we're running 200 health TPs to be as tanky as possible, with the 200 range attack TPs letting us hit as hard as possible. The 68 energy TPs at level 50 will give us a total of 236 energy, which will let us use 1 Piece of Mind, 2 Phantom Blasts and 2 Trick Shots or Rock Slides, or we can go for 1 Piece of Mind, 2 Trick Shots and 3 Rock Slides. And then the 32 melee defense TPs are just leftovers. For the personality, I'm running Robust and Smart, mostly Smart to increase our damage output, but Robust does help us to make us even bulkier on the melee side too. I mostly just didn't want to lower our speed with Sluggish. But if you don't care about that, then Very Smart is also fine, or if you really wanted to, you could switch out the Robust for Hyper to have access to more energy. For the held item, we're running Health Amulet to make it a little bit easier to let us set up Peace of Minds. Then for the ability, we're running Wail, which will boost our move's damage by 10% for every fainted Loomian we have on our team. So if Obelost is the last alive, we'll get a 40% damage increase. And then finally for the moves, we're running Phantom Blast as our strongest Spirit Stab option. Trick Shot is a great Spirit Stab option that gives us priority. Rock Slide is a decent Earth Stab option, but we're mostly using it to help us hit the Air-type Loomians, and Peace of Mind will let us set up, although there are some other options like Spectral Burst, Landslide and Body Crash. Next up is the Pivot Denying set, which we're running 200 health and range defense TPs to increase our range defense bulk as much as physically possible. The 12 energy TPs at level 50 will give us a total of 225 energy, which will let us use 1 Tamp and 5 Spectral Bursts or Body Crashes, and then the 88 melee defense TPs are leftovers. For the personality, we're going to be going with Very Clever to boost our range defense stats even more so. For the held item, we're running Mysterious Dust to let us get rid of status ailments like Poison, but it can also potentially wake us up earlier when we're using Slumber. Then for the ability, we're running the secret ability Siege, which will make it so every pivot move will just fail when used. This will include things like Fade Away, Flash and Flee, Zip Zap, Baffle, Ancient Raw, and Dissipate. I might be forgetting a couple, but I'm pretty sure that's all of them. And then finally for the moves, we're running Tamp to increase our defensive stats, Slumber to heal when needed, Spectral Burst is a nice reliable stab option, and Body Crash is great because it uses our huge melee defense stat, but it also pairs it with Tamp because that will increase our melee defense stats even higher. And finally, the last set is the Melee Tank, which we're running 200 health and melee defense TPs to make us as melee bulky as physically possible. The 12 energy TPs at level 50 gives us a total of 225 energy, which will let us use 1 Tamp and 5 Spectral Bursts or Body Crashes. And the 88 range attack TPs are mostly leftovers, but it does let us hit a little bit harder, but you could put them into the range defense stat if you wanted to. For the personality, we're running Very Robust to increase our melee bulk even more so. For the held item, we're running Mysterious Dust to heal us of status ailments like Poison, but it can also wake us up early from using Slumber. Then for the ability, we're running Bitter Touch, which can activate when we're hit by a contact move, and if it does activate, it'll block that move from being used for a few turns. Which I will say is right now definitely the worst ability that Obelost has, but it does have a nice niche, especially since a lot of specialty glove users are running around right now. If they lock themselves into a move and we block that move, then they can only flail. And then finally for the moves, we're running Tamp to increase our defensive stats, Slumber will let us heal, Spectral Burst is a nice reliable stab option, and Body Crash is our biggest damage dealing move, which uses our melee defense stats.